Okay, guys, so for the last 2 days, I've been talking about the codependent fantasy and what's been going on for us. Now, yesterday I mentioned I'm going to give you a tool that gets the process started after you've gone through the acknowledgement phase where you're getting sober about your experience. And this is very, very important. The sober phase is very important because without that, you're going to live in denial and nothing you do after that is going to work out long term. One of the fundamental changes I bring for my students and clients is that we are able to grasp reality and use it to our advantage. That's what makes me very successful. To the tune of 92% of my students succeed in getting their lives back, getting their happiness back through my processes. So again, yesterday we talked about acknowledgement, the process of becoming sober about what's really happening to us. And now, today, we need to address the next step. And that is our first major step in actually healing from the impact that we've been living through. Okay? Because remember, the fantasy is a component of the consumer supply relationship where we are being used and drained by the consumer, by the narcissist, by the toxic person in order to get love from them. And what happens in that is we experience the discard trauma. And the discard trauma affects us in 3 specific areas: our identity and value, our sense of connection to self and others, and our power over our happiness. Our first step in really healing this comes in the first target, which is restoring our connection, our sense of our true identity and value. Okay? So if you've been following me for a while, you've heard me talk about value as being something we experience in our bodies, and that there's 2 types of value: value of the appreciation of existence and then the appreciation of effort. If we feel valuable because of what we do, then we're largely anchored in the appreciation of effort. And that's an important place, but that's not where we should live. We should actually be living in the appreciation of our existence. We deserve to be valued simply for the fact we exist. We deserve to be loved because we exist. That's my motto for my company. My motto for my clients and students is that you're worth knowing, loving, and keeping. And that's where that comes from. That our intrinsic value is worth knowing, loving, and keeping, both to ourselves and with others. So if we're really going to heal our codependency, we're going to stop this cycle of choosing narcissistic, unavailable, toxic people. If we're really going to get serious about our happiness, we're going to live a life we want and love to live, then we have got to heal that impact on our sense of identity and value. Notice I say sense of identity and value. You don't know your identity. You don't know your value. I don't even know my identity and value, and I've been on this road for 15 years. When we stop living in a thing called conclusionism, we can tap into our potential. I know part of me is stubborn. I know part of me is humorous. I know part of me is sexy, and part of me is boring to people. But fundamentally, those are parts. Those are elements of me, but they're not the whole of me. And when I say sense of identity and sense of value, it's how we're interpreting those things. Okay? We have a filter. We all have a filter. We're not going to see ourselves objectively. We're not even going to see others objectively. We're going to have some sort of filters on those. The easiest filter I have found to connect back with more of my brilliance, more of who I am, and it expands my life, that really adds to my life, like improves it significantly, is a filter of love. Now, love doesn't brush things under the rug. It doesn't deny the problems. It doesn't ignore the issues. It doesn't ignore weaknesses or bad skills or things we can grow in. Love actually amplifies those things because love is about ownership. It's about accountability. It's about honesty. It's about integrity. It's not about a free pass because I had a bad day. It's more like, hey, are you loving yourself when you treat yourself that way? Are you respecting what you could be? Are you respecting them? Because love is an interchange. It's not a free pass like a lot of us have been taught it is. It isn't. Love, it has accountability to it. Love has honesty and integrity to it. So it's not going to sit there and let you get away with things. It's going to be like, Marshall, you kind of Kind of screwing the pooch there. You got to stop that, bro. Come on. Get honest with yourself. Are you really being there for yourself, Marshall? Yeah, see? So, this is where there's a process I created for the codependency confidence system called HEAL. And in that is the HEAL process. And this is a 3-step process that helps us reverse the damage that we've experienced to our sense of identity and value so that we can change our point of view that allows us to connect back to the genuine energy of our value and identity. Thus, discover who we are rather than conform to what we're told to be. Does that make sense? So, this is how it works. The HEAL process has 3 simple steps. It releases whatever sense, identification, attachment we have to a particular emotional point of view, like shame. Then it begins an integration process with a different point of view, which would be love. All of them use love. I have many of these HEAL guides, rapid HEAL guides, and then the deep HEAL guides. They all use love because love is the cleanest filter in which to honestly see ourselves. And then it does what's called embodiment. So it does release, integrate, and embody. Embodiment is us discovering what it's like to be ourselves from that new point of view. It's these 3 things that make me and my systems stand out from other therapeutic and healing systems, because what they do is they integrate the mind, the body, and the heart together so we start to see a wholeness of ourselves. Because if we do not embody and be, practice and experience ourselves in this new space, we won't integrate and our healing will be stunted. This is why people get stuck in a weird quasi-center, kind of like a limbo between the old self and the new and the true self. Kind of like one foot in, one foot out. It's because they're not totally embodying the new self and doing the necessary exploration from that. This is how we heal. That first impact of, on our sense of identity and value is going through those 3 steps. This is cool because I have seen this radically change people's lives within weeks. Not months, not years, weeks. The fastest I've seen is 5 weeks, where the person came into the process, started using this, and within 5 weeks discovered they no longer need to hate themselves. They're just like, I like myself. This is cool. But the average is about 12 to 15 weeks. I mean, it's faster than any therapeutic process I've ever gone through. Aside from the closure technique if you're dealing with trauma, because that's pretty quick there. But this is how we heal that identity impact and our sense of value, is by going through the HEAL process. And the HEAL process will target specific things. So if you have a shame, like with dominant shame you're dealing with, then you'd use a shame clearing, or a fear, or a fatigue, or a guilt, those kind of things. So you could be releasing those things and then integrating love into their place. Now what's cool today, guys, is there's a link in the description above if you're on Facebook, and a description below if you're on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And there's a link there to the Rapid HEAL Guide. You can get the Shame Integrator for free now. It's one of the things I give a lot away for free. A lot of people are like, Marshall, you charge for what you do. And I'm like, yep, I charge for the advanced stuff. But I give the tools away because you can go out there and do it. That's the point. I'm a 4-person business. That means really 4-person, 4-purpose, 4 results business, And so I want you to get results. So you click that link, put your email in, you can download that, and you can use it to high heaven. It's how you start your next step in healing from the narcissistic abuse you've endured, from the neglect you've endured, from the codependency you've used to survive. This is where you start really healing, okay? So I appreciate you guys being here. If you have any questions about this, just comment below. And know that you're worth knowing, loving, and keeping, and that you can actually heal. It's all here. Now, if you want to go deep on this, you want to take control of your life again, you want to be completely free of that shame, you want to know who you are, you want to have yourself back, you want to get over love addiction, trauma bonding, you want to have actual healthy connection, you want to have control, again, of your happiness, friendships, build a life you like, then I invite you to join Codependency Confidence. You do that by taking my masterclass at workshop2.freetheself.com. The link is also above. on Facebook, and it's below on YouTube. Because you can get in there, and it's a self-guided system that has weekly live mentoring with me that works. That's the point. My systems aren't about therapy. My systems are about healing and happiness. So you can get out there and actually live your life without the codependency, without the trauma. You can be free. Okay? Appreciate you guys. This is our last training for this week. I will see you guys next week. You guys have a great weekend. And remember that you're worth knowing, loving, and keeping. Bye-bye.